right, say some stuff.
Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah, that looks right. Nailed it.
You want me to say some stuff too?
I mean, we're just recording now, so we'll
okay.
be starting at some point hypothetically soon. I don't even know. Dan, I don't even know when we're going to start recording, but I'll tell you this, it is on video. So even though you have to you need to kiss the mic a little bit to pick up.
Oh yeah.
You are going to want to look as cool as possible at all times.
That's why I got the shades on.
Yeah, you really are the ideal posture of a guest on a podcast right now. You're relaxed but authoritative as well. But here's what I might do, and this is a hypothetical situation of like a Goofus and Gallant what not to do. Oh, that's such an interesting Quora. Oh,
yeah.
No. Oh, I think that's so funny. Look at my posture right now.
Wow, I feel like I'm on an airplane where they tell me how to use the airbags or whatever.
Oh, I'll just unbuckle my seatbelt to get something from the back of the car. And then the car crashes, which would be, as I said it, as I realized it, that it would be a cool sound to have on mic, but we don't have. So don't look for that sound.
I would never.
Yep. Wrong keyboard.
Wait, what was that one? Is that new?
I can't talk about that.
Is that a new sound effect?
That's the Pod Dave America keyboard. That's the show next door. It's fun.
Whoops. Big whoops. Hey, welcome to Quorators, the podcast where we ask, what is Quora?
What's Quora?
I'm Jeremy. I've been promoted to guy who intros the show. This is a big deal for me. And I'm here with Alex Patak.
Hey, Jeremy, thanks for having me. I've always looked up to you as a father-type figure.
Alex is eating a donut, so I get to intro the podcast.
I don't have any more sprinkles on my mouth, and if I did, I would ignore them like it's not part of the video. Thanks for having me.
We're here today with Dan Licata. Dan, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me. Sorry, I'm wearing these sunglasses. I was recently blinded, so that's
I'm sorry
recently,
about
as
that.
in 10 minutes ago.
about 10 minutes ago. Thank God I had the shades. Otherwise, it'd be humiliating.
We will be reading you all of the Quoras you need, Dan, and thank you for coming through to the show after that happened.
Yeah, I was on my way here, and some guy just came up to me and just said, "Eat this," and I ate it, and then my vision just went away. So
it wasn't eye related.
Yeah, okay.
no, something I ingested. So.
And then he said, "Eat this," and it wasn't like a punch. It was like he gave you like a tart berry.
Yeah,
cake.
he gave you something literally to eat.
He
Yeah.
gave you a poisoned tart.
Now you always hear about people drinking stuff and going
Here we
blind. You
go.
never hear about people eating stuff and
It's
going
so
blind.
true.
That's why I had no fear when I ate it. But
And Dan, maybe
Lesson
that's
learned.
a Quora. Maybe that's a Quora. Can you eat things and go blind? Can you eat things and go blind? Last week we talked about a slug, which you apparently, for the record, cannot eat. You cannot eat a slug.
Unless it's in a restaurant.
I thought you could. I thought that was
Snail. You're thinking of snail.
thinking of snail.
We had a whole conversation about it.
Okay,
We
I won't
simply
go into it
cannot
then.
go back into it again.
Okay.
Wolfman Dan in the studio. Now, Dan, you're kind of one of the lead Quora users around. Is that correct?
That's got some truth to it. I do get emails pretty much every day.
I
and
heard they email you every day.
they email me every day, and the questions. I didn't realize that these were tailored to me, but now it makes a little more sense because they're always either about homelessness or prison. So, now that I know.
Now, when you say they're about homelessness or prison, is it usually advice if you are homeless or going to prison? Or is it just like, you know what's sad? This man stole a cherry pie and had his hands lopped off in Saudi Arabia.
It's usually stuff like, is it hard to be homeless? And it's like,
More and more people are asking, is it? What do
I
you
assume
think?
The answer is yes.
yeah, yep.
Yeah, it's pretty hard.
Is it hard to be homeless? Meet Abigail Titterino. And then they'll have a picture of like a woman with no hands. That's the go-to Quora answer, is a sad picture.
I feel like the second most popular answer is probably just a guy being like, never been homeless, but no, if I had to do it, I'm sure I could figure it out. I'd have a system.
This is very, I don't know, nerdy or something. I don't know how to describe this, but if you know the book Nickel and Dimed about how hard it is to be poor, there is a conservative book that was passed around in response to that. That was just a guy making himself poor and then getting money again, as if to be like, see, no problem.
Just like the
I don't
worst
see
version.
what the issue is.
The like conservative supersize me.
Yeah. At this moment,
If I ate a hamburger every day, I'd be really strong, actually.
Man, Supersize Me really fucked up school lunches for us, didn't it?
it really did.
Morgan Spurlock and Michelle Obama really. We used to be able to go into the cafeteria, get yourself a slice of pizza with a side of French fries and a Hostess cupcake. Nowadays, it's all about it really.
Big broccoli.
This is our like middle school Joe
Big
Rogan
broccoli.
podcast.
Michelle Obama, you ruined lunch.
My school had open campus, so we were just able to just leave and go to stores for lunch, which was pretty sick.
That is
starting at what
freshman
age?
year.
And exactly how many children were kidnapped from your school? Would you
About
say?
a quarter of the school.
Okay, around a quarter. I would guess around a quarter. Okay, you could do that as like when you were like 17 or 18 at my high school. They let you
Really?
leave, but that was just because it's not in the city. You had time to like drive a car and come back because there's no way you're getting anywhere on foot in
I
the
was
half
in Long
hour you
Island.
got. Yeah,
They called it junior senior privileges at our school, which you gotta check your privilege.
check your privilege. Check your privilege. You can get out. Yeah, Michelle Obama is often the subject of what we like to talk about here today. But today we have some other questions that we'll be going into, don't we?
Well, every episode we ask a question on Quora, so we should check in on our last week's.
Oh, yeah. And that's also part of your promotion is that I can't be trusted to find where the answers are anymore because I couldn't do it last week. Although now you're squinting and making a face, kind of making me feel like neither of us are qualified to do this.
Maybe I'm messing this up, or it's hard to tell because Quora is such
Isn't
an
it really
insane
funny?
website.
Like, I think you should leave sketch where you hire someone to do a job and they just make incredulous faces at a computer for a while.
I'll tell you why. So this is our Halloween episode. So our question was, what would happen if a real mummy went trick or treating? Do you have any thoughts on this, Dad? You think they could pull
Serious
it off?
answers only is also part of the question.
I believe this was a Disney Channel original movie plot, but I feel like that the mummy would not only get away with it, he would probably and wind up at a Halloween party and do a really cool dance move at some point that got everybody.
Yeah,
I would say I
right.
would probably assume also that
think
would
that's
happen.
correct.
That's,
Now-
this was the plot of Brink.
Why I'm confused is it says one answer, and I don't know if there is an answer or not. But the top thing that it's showing me is like, you know, those old school like memes that were the demotivational posters where it'd be like an image and a black background and there's like a word and then a sentence.
Yes.
From like the mid 2000s. So it's just showing me a grainy demotivational poster that says feminists teach your sons to respect women, and it's a kid holding a sign that said my mom's a slut. So I don't think that is
I don't think that's in
related
response to what
to
we
our
said.
question,
I
but
don't
it is
think anybody said that.
It's a British user who thought mummy was a mommy.
Yeah, how much
mummies could never go trick or treating.
a real one, not one of those sluts.
I can't tell if that's an answer to, but Quora is like it's listed as if it is. All right, well, I don't know. I guess that's our answer.
So I guess to answer the question, could a mummy go trick or treating? Women can offer. You can't trust them.
I guess not.
I guess that.
I haven't seen a
I don't fully
demotivational
understand what
poster.
the meme is by your description, but it sounds bad.
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Well, to be safe, we can say that they would do a dance.
I think they would do a dance.
I think it's safe to say a mummy would do a dance. And when we're talking about a mummy dance, we are talking arms straight.
Yeah.
Teeter totter, teeter totter, teeter totter. Oh.
I think there'd probably be an awkward situation where somebody thinks that it's toilet paper and tries to use it in the bathroom.
You're in
and that would be
line
a
for the
little funny.
bathroom, and the ankle toilet
right.
paper goes under the door.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, we're out. Oh, what is it?
I have a question. So why are mummies? I mean, can mummies kill you? Do they have strengths or
What is the power set?
Why would you fear a mummy?
Okay, so you know what? I actually ended up getting pretty deep in this on a different podcast recently. Because there is some confusion. Now, people think mummy, they think zombie, almost
Sure.
no powers, just dead body that is against God's plan alive. But if you go to like the movie The Mummy, or other great mummies, then they can do vampire shit. So they can like
Okay.
move things with their mind and cause plagues and like rain toads and stuff. And then you're pretty well, that would be a tough situation to go trick-or-treating in nonetheless.
Sure, if it's raining toads.
Needless to say, you could absolutely go trick-or-treating, but people would identify it. Does that clear up everything that we had wanted to address?
That was helpful.
Sure.
Yeah, I think that was really
They're
good.
like a zombie with a curse.
Yeah, you're like a Superman zombie. You're like a zombie plus. Other zombies respect you for what you've done for the community.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's a zombie with no ads.
For $5 a month, you can get
I
Zombie
fa-
Plus.
I found a question on Quora today when I was looking at them, and it wouldn't let me read it unless I paid for Quora Plus, which
Is
who
that
is paying?
real?
Yeah, I swear to God.
What does Quora Plus get you?
More questions?
Quora Regular is unusable. What is the plus?
I don't know. I'm tempted to get it.
It is like 1/3 ads, so that
Yeah.
actually would free. Like I think the thing you read was maybe from another part of the website.
It's very possible.
I
An
don't
ad
know.
for old memes from the mid 2000s.
Here's an ad for 2006.
Yeah, what features does that unlock? I'm really.
I'm gonna have to
curious.
sign up.
Can you like click a
gonna
button?
look.
Can you look at this?
Yeah. Let me do this.
Getting my research assistant and boss to pull that up really quick.
I googled Quora Plus, but I can't really see the screen because of the sun.
Because it's the middle of the day.
And Google autofilled is Quora Plus bad, so I accidentally googled that.
Well, we know it's not bad.
Okay, Quora Plus, more knowledge, more ideas, more Quora.
Okay, those are features we could use.
Unlock exclusive content from participating creators. Support great writing and quality content, and enjoy an ad-free browsing
So
experience.
there are people writing Quoras only for Quora Plus users.
Can
that
I
we
write
can't
for
even
Quora Plus?
see.
It says, in this early stage, we've extended invitations to select creators.
Is this how we monetize our show? Is Quora Plus? We get subscribers on Quora Plus?
I don't know. I don't think that we would get money.
Why not?
I think Quora gets money. $7
I don't
a month.
understand how the website works.
Well, we'll
makes
never
me
find out.
mad.
I think I'm gonna get the 30-day trial, and I'll let you know if it's
Sure.
If
Put
it's
in my
worth-
credit card just to be safe.
Sure.
I think
I'll
Google
use
has that
yours.
saved, so no worries. All right, yeah. So that's Quora Plus. That's pretty good. I don't know. I think we got Dan here. We got Dan in the studio. Wolfman Dan just recently struck blind, kind of a medical anomaly in a way. And in that way, I think it makes sense to maybe pull up
Sure.
Quora MD.
Cool.
Honey.
No sound for Quora MD, just doing the standard one.
Should we get like a sound for each one?
I only have 8 buttons is the problem.
Fair enough.
We're going to have to lose the Austin Powers theme.
Oh well, obviously, I mean that's a no.
Although that's kind of if it was a raunchy hospital. Oh, I'm sick. I don't feel good.
Man, imagine if you were in the hospital and you found out that you had to share a room with Fat Bastard.
Oh boy,
Put that on Quora.
that could be our Quora.
That could be a Quora.
We could ask it.
Remember that at the end of the show when we ask a Quora. Okay. Well, we have some really good medical questions for
Yeah.
you, Dan, because we recognize your recent experience in the medical field, what with being struck blind.
Do you want me to read one?
Yeah, why don't you pull one up, Jeremy?
Okay. This is a an answer from a former paramedic / firefighter. And the question is, do sociopaths also give off a weird vibe like psychopaths do? I hear psychopaths cause people to feel like there is something wrong or they're in some kind of danger.
Oh, like I can sense your energy Dragon Ball Z situation?
Yeah.
oh, I feel like someone doesn't tip in this room. I feel it.
Do you think
I
you
would
could
say
sense
no.
if you saw someone who is a sociopath or a psychopath that you could tell the difference?
The whole thing about a sociopath is you can't spot them usually, right? So I'm going to say no.
Wait, so could we briefly explain the difference?
I don't know,
Maybe
honestly.
Just
not
for the
me,
listener,
not for
for the
me,
listener
but
at
for
home.
the users.
So,
users.
as a psychopath, my thing is that I honestly don't know.
Users.
I'm not sure what the difference is between a sociopath and a psychopath.
I know.
Oh yeah, tell me, please.
Okay, so a sociopath is someone who is like feels no empathy for other people, and so you kind of like use society as your own spider's web kind of thing. So
Sure,
like
sure.
the CEOs are often sociopaths.
Cool.
Psychopath is someone who is just like not fitting in at all into like standard neurotypical behavior. So like if you're bipolar or if
Okay.
you're if you have a split personality disorder or something, and there's a second person inside of you named Ruth who demands you so or something. This is a they're not all like that.
Very specific.
I'm not a doctor myself, but sometimes it's sewing related. Did that clear everything up?
Somewhat. I think the reason I'm confused is because I would consider Patrick Bateman to
Sure.
be in the former category of what you just described, because he's like a functioning member of society, right? But
Yeah.
but the movie's called American Psycho, not
That's
American
true.
So
No, but he's not though. Is the
He's
thing is like his life's in shambles, and you're seeing it from like it's an unreliable narrator's the whole thing with the fucking movie.
damn, dude.
It's all
He's
over the
got that
place.
Cool
He thinks
business
he's
card
cool.
though.
Yeah, he's got that business card though.
He thinks he's playing it sleek and cool, but then there's like dead bodies everywhere. And he's like, oh, I left the arms out.
Yeah, he's a functioning member
But
of society.
He fucks the two girls while looking in the mirror though.
Yeah, he looks great. Maybe it's a sudden psychological break.
Yeah, maybe.
Look, the
So-
question isn't diagnose American Psycho, something no one can do because it's too hard.
He's just too hot.
Yeah.
He's really good looking in the film.
So
What
this
an actor,
person-
by the way. Christian.
What a-
oh, yeah.
What a talent.
You lose yourself. You lose sight of who he was.
Loves to change his weight. That's his
Oh
big
my
thing.
God. He goes up, he goes down.
Yeah, it's tough.
Does he ever play a big fat guy, though?
Then
Not
he played
once.
Cheney. He played Dick Cheney.
Oh yeah,
No,
he did.
But he only got a little fat for that. There's like bodies.
You don't think
and
Dick
stuff.
Cheney's I mean, it's not fat bastard fat, but I mean, he put on the weight for real. That's
No,
that's
but he
respectable.
did. I was saying he got like a belly pillow or something. That's not all organic.
no, he gained that weight.
No.
Yeah, he did.
yeah.
He's
Yeah,
really
he had-
into gaining and
He
losing
makes
weight.
it. He doesn't fake
He
it.
had 5 heart attacks on set. I saw it.
That is his like big move, is to get fatter or skinnier for a role. That's like his number one thing to do.
Yeah, it's his signature move.
It is. Yeah.
Some people could juggle.
Yeah, no, he gets fatter or skinnier.
He just reduces himself to 70 pounds. Your crazy idea.
But genuinely, yeah.
Yeah, all right. Well, it's not funny. I'm saying I respect it.
It's cool. I don't know. It's weird.
We do need a comedy version of Christian Bale for sure.
Yes, for
That's true.
sure, dude.
Oh wait, I guess
It might be Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
No, when's the last time he's been in a comedy movie?
That's true. I don't know.
He's gonna be Mario soon.
He is going to be Mario.
He plays dramas now.
he plays
he does serious
Oscar bait,
roles.
like Mario.
Mario's an icon to millions of Italian children who want to jump so high
Yeah.
and hit things with their head.
And have a
Open
taller
them
brother.
That way. And have a taller brother who is not the main character. Is, as a matter of fact, kind of like a secondary side character in a lot of
Yeah,
ways.
yeah.
Unless there's a ghost around.
Luigi's not introducing the podcast. I'll tell you that.
I'll tell you that.
Let's go.
Let's go. Okay, so what question
so
are
this
we
person,
answering?
this person chilly answered, I have some psychopathic traits, which is, I think, a very funny way to start an answer.
I'm on the run.
I'm a psychopath. I met someone a few months ago. It didn't take long for me to see he was a psychopath. For the first time in my life, 42 years old, I felt a sense of fear/excitement/adrenaline. I don't know, that sixth sense to stay the F away from that dude, but not right away. I had to dance with the devil a little bit. His eyes could make you believe he didn't have a soul. It was either evil/demons, and I saw/felt a lot of slashes in this.
A lot of, well, you know, he wants to slash because he's a psychopath. He's driven to kill.
in his eyes or just a very psychotic man. Either or, it was a no good situation because this dude was out of my league in terms of psychopathy.
Oh my God. So this is exactly the Dragon Ball Z
Yes,
power
yeah,
level
yeah, yeah.
situation where you can not only tell there is one, but how psycho they are just when they walk in the room.
It was unreal how instinct and vibes were warning me. He was hot and charming, but had this chilling, scary side to him. This is my actual account of how a psychopath ranking high when it comes to psychopathic traits made me feel. Remember, I also have psychopathic traits.
I remember. You
Shouldn't
just
have
told
freaked
us.
me out. That's the end.
Okay.
This
Wow.
person like saw a psychopath and was like, "Damn, this guy's doing really good. Like he's
my
way
God.
better at being a psychopath than me."
I gotta change my daily schedule. I gotta wake up earlier.
I gotta write in my crazy journal every day.
I gotta talk to my mom's corpse twice more a day.
How do you get your eyes to dance around soullessly? Yeah.
You got to read a how-to on that.
Yeah, that
I don't
is
know.
interesting.
I mean, I would love to have my self-esteem tied to being like a nutball or something. That would really give you a sense of meaning in a very powerful way.
I just like you know when you do like stand up or whatever and you see a comedian who's really good and you're like, damn, that guy's like really killing it. I would love to feel that as a psychopath and be like, that guy like really stabbed that chick.
I like some of what he's doing, but he's trying new things and yeah,
Really
there's-
pushing the form of psychopathy.
Yeah, he's an alt psychopath. For sure.
Keeps talking to no one, laughing to himself, and want to work on that more.
Yeah, everybody knows the Joker, but no one knows this guy.
No one knows Robert.
Robert the psychopath.
Okay. Well, that was a good question for doctors.
Thank
what else
you.
we got pulled up here? You're kind of killing it today.
Okay. That's the one I added today. So the rest of these, I do not remember what the questions
I think
or
they
answers
just
are.
didn't like our mummy question. I think they thought it was like rude.
Sure, and they just like...
Like we've tapped into this on here, and that Quora does not like if they think you're joking around. They want like sincere questions.
Yeah, I don't know.
And even though we said serious answers only, could a mummy go trick or treating? I think they kind of knew we were having fun with it.
Sure, yeah, they knew it was a bit of a whimsical question.
Yeah.
So we got to be more serious.
Yeah, so we're gonna straighten our tie. on
Yeah.
this.
Seriously, really though,
Yeah.
would Fat Bastard be a good hospital roommate?
Yeah, no cap. Fat bastard.
This week we'll end it with no cap. And that will get us the results we desire.
Okay, here's another one. This question is, what happens if you eat a few hours before you receive anesthesia? So they always tell you not to eat.
Oh, you fucking throw up, dog.
This person
They go
wants
in
to
you and
know.
you're all like, "Whoa."
This is from Michelle Marks Kim, who says waiting for a heart transplant. So
Does not like to stop eating,
yeah, scary.
but has a very damaged heart.
I feel like most questions we put on this website we find are just people giving like horrifying stories of somebody who died for no reason.
Yeah, no one answers the question is a big part of it.
So this one is another horrifying story. My 5-year-old neighbor died because her parents didn't follow these instructions.
Jesus Christ.
There's no way this is real, right? Like if you eat before anesthesia, you die.
Well, because you could choke and stuff. They tell you very explicitly not to do it.
Fair enough.
Anesthesia is it's more dangerous than the surgery a lot of the time.
The doctor, we'll call her Susie, was going in for, the daughter, not the doctor, was going for surgery. The doctors apparently went over not to eat, blah, 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 blah. She said that could cause her to choke. Day of surgery comes and parents were asked if Susie ate anything. They said no. Surgery
They
proceeds.
rolled their eyes.
During surgery, Susie throws up a bunch of undigested food. Doctor asks parents, are they sure she didn't eat? They say they gave her breakfast because she was hungry and didn't have the heart to say no.
Well, that was really sad, Jeremy. Thank you.
Her ignorant parents tried to sue, but they couldn't find a lawyer.
Thank you for bringing up that heart-wrenching story on our Quora podcast.
This
Is
was
it you just
suggested
think it's
to
a
me.
lie?
I just don't think it's true. Is that a real thing that happens? Maybe I'm a fool.
Absolutely, I
Okay,
believe that's
I
true.
apologize.
Apologies to Susie.
R.I.P. Susie.
You're with the gods now.
I thought it was similar to the one where they said,
You're
can
with-
you eat a slug? And they said, my friend ate a slug and died.
I think that was real too.
Fair enough.
I think he ate a slug and died. Also, Susie, you're with Alan Rickman now. There's all kinds of cool guys you can
Sure.
see up there.
Sure.
David Bowie,
Shinzo Abe.
Shinzo Abe. You can see a lot of former ministers of the Liberal Democratic Party of Japan up there.
All right, I was attacked for my question, so Alex, you now have to
Okay, yeah, it's
find a
only fair.
question.
I'm sorry for pouncing on you like
No, it's
that. I just
okay.
got in the zone.
I failed.
like
I
that.
tried to ask a question.
I should have
didn't
told you
succeed.
guys before that stories about kindergartners dying bums me out. I should have ran that by y'all. But
Yeah, we
I've
gotta
been
ask.
meaning to ask more before they come over because it's kind of, on the hosts all the time. Okay, what do we... Oh, okay, so I'm interested in this. Have you ever had surgery, Dan?
I have, yeah.
Yeah, on that beautiful face?
No, nothing. No knife has touched this mug. But when I was 15, I jumped off a 25-foot building with an umbrella and shattered both of my legs while my friend videotaped it and had to be rushed to surgery.
Oh, they
immediately.
needed surgery for that.
Yeah,
For shattering
turns out-
both of your legs.
Yeah, turns out they needed to piece them together.
How
I
did
don't know
that feel?
It's the worst pain I've ever felt in my life by a country mile. Yeah, but still, they ask you this very, subjective question whenever you experience any sort of trauma. They say, like, on a scale of 1 to 10,
Right.
how bad does this hurt?
Oh,
And
with
I'm
the
like,
ouchie faces.
Yeah, well, they didn't provide a chart with the faces.
That was
but-
before they developed them.
Yeah, it was before that. It's the mid 2000s. But they asked me, and I was like, I don't know. I'm sure there's pain worse. There's got to be pain worse than this. So I said an 8, and then they immediately thought I was on drugs, and I was stone cold sober at the time, which they did not believe for a minute.
So they expected a 10, basically?
Yeah, they're like, you said an 8, and I was like, yeah, I mean,
I've only shattered both of my legs.
I'm not trying to be a dick about it.
I didn't get
It's
shot
like
in
you
the head.
crossed the mob or something. I think it's even worse than getting shot in the head because I think in your head, your body's like, I'm just not even going to interpret this as pain anymore. This is all loopity, extrasensory feelings. Well, I guess that's my question. So one time at the comedian football game in 2015, I slipped and fell into the back of Joseph Roberts' head and my tooth was hanging out and everyone was looking at me and screaming as blood came out. And so...
Would you say it was in a 1 to 10?
Well, it was none because I severed the nerve. So it didn't feel like anything. But I knew because everyone was looking at me and screaming, instead my mouth had become naught but a bloody hole and that was not good. And so I guess I'm wondering, like, if you really muck up your legs, maybe it hurts less than if you did a little bit.
Sounds pretty painful.
He said 8. He said 8. 8 out of 10.
Well, what they didn't account for is I'm just built different.
I feel like I know the answer to the question, but did you think it was going to work, the umbrella?
Well, it technically kept my spine straight, which prevented me from any sort of spinal injury
That's
or
not
paralysis.
working. That does not count as working.
it did some good, I think. But yeah, it was fucked up.
How long did it take you to get better from that?
I think I was in cast for either 14 or 16 weeks.
Weeks?
Weeks, yeah.
That's actually less time than I would have guessed for how bad that would be. But I mean, that is also a long time as well. And I'm sorry that happened to you. And
Yeah.
that you jumped off a building with an umbrella because you thought you could float down.
Yeah, well, I did it to myself, and I don't regret it because it's a good story, and
is.
I'm okay.
I don't think that those disclaimers on Jackass to not do the stunts has worked on anybody.
Yeah, no,
my friends also did stupid shit like that where they're like, let's do Jackass.
Yeah.
Right.
it was I mean,
Hey, I'm the disclaimer.
Yeah.
if
Ooh,
they weren't-
don't.
the problem is they were just like the coolest guys. So of
Yeah,
course
yeah.
you want to
Yeah,
be like
yeah.
the coolest guys.
We could do like just the penis tricks or something that aren't necessarily
Sure.
deadly if you do them, like covering your penis in bees.
Yeah, or just like being embarrassed or something.
Did you think the new Jackass movie was better or worse than the old Jackass movies?
Here's my ranking. 2, 3, 1, 4.
Oh, wow.
2 is the best.
So 4 was the worst one by a lot.
Not by I mean it's just that the first 3 are all so good that it had such a high. I
knew you were going to have a
thoroughly
solid
enjoyed it.
ranking.
Thoroughly enjoyed it. Not saying I didn't enjoy it, but just it ranks 4.
Because Steve-O watches this show. He's going to see what you said on the show.
I mean, I would just like to say to Steve-O, I still thoroughly enjoyed the movie. It's probably my favorite movie I've seen so far this year still. So I
Yeah,
mean,
okay.
I
I think it's my favorite movie this year.
yeah.
It's probably my favorite movie of all time,
Steve-O.
Steve-O. The question was, has a surgeon ever given up in the middle of a surgery and left a patient or team stranded? Guesses.
Yes. My guess is yes.
Yeah.
Probably at least one time, I'm guessing.
At least in this story.
All right, like all Quoras, I know of one terrible story regarding a surgeon I greatly respected. This event happened in the middle of a relatively straightforward surgery that he was supervising as the senior attending. The events were told to me by close colleagues. I was not present. As the surgery was progressing normally, he rather suddenly left the OR saying he needed to rest for a few minutes and he would return shortly. When he didn't return within several minutes, the chief resident surgeon, who had to continue the operation without the usual attending to supervise, sent an alarm to the attending to be located. The attending surgeon was found expired, lying on his bed in on-call room, what was later determined to be a heart attack. And the loss of this physician, who was widely admired, hit us all hard. Fortunately, the patient undergoing that surgery did well with no subsequent. So no, Ari, he didn't really leave then. He just died randomly in the middle. That doesn't count.
He left this
That's
earth.
a bullshit answer. I want to see the Fred Flintstone
really fair,
surgeons yabba dabba doing out of there for it.
It's like, damn, I got ghosted by this girl who died after our first date. Like, it's not really ghosted.
It's actually the closest definition
Fair
of
enough.
ghosted.
Fair enough.
Yeah, we're thinking of the. You know what? You can't fire me because I quit. Yeah, fuck this. I quit. That's what we're thinking. You know.
Yeah.
Yet, I'm sure there's been a surgeon who genuinely
Sure.
loathes the
Bailed.
person they're doing surgery on, and probably is like, you know what? Fuck this. I don't need to.
You think in like a personal way or
Yeah,
like
like,
a political figure?
Ooh, yeah. I hadn't considered. Yeah.
Well, like,
stories
have you
of that,
seen?
right?
I have this friend, Dr. House, who has all of these. Well, they're not all enemies, but he has so many in close, intimate
You're friends with that
connections
guy?
with
He's
his
such
personal-
a dick.
Well, yeah, but he gets results
Fair enough.
when nobody else wants to.
Yeah, no, you're right.
And he gives me pills, which I think is sick.
Pills are tight.
Yeah, and so he's not afraid to kind of make the professional personal is all I
But
meant.
you do have to. I think, like, you know, you're required to operate on the patient, regardless of how
Yeah.
you feel about them. As a
Yeah, they do
person.
make you like say that under oath.
Right.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
doctor's prayer.
They
It's like
make
a Green
you
Lantern
actually-
thing.
It's a
In
Green
darkest
Lantern.
day, in
thing.
brightest night.
That's how they refer to it at the medical school.
You gotta do the Green Lantern
You
thing.
did it. Another 4 years of school. The Green Lantern thing.
Here's your
Everybody-
ring. Go speak to the council.
Everybody
Those little
turn into
red
a
guys.
sword or whatever the fuck that guy does.
You'd be a great surgeon.
Okay,
The
no,
Green Lantern.
yeah, I mean, he could
Hal Jordan.
turn you into a healthy body with his fucking Green Lantern.
Yeah. I don't know if that's a thing they can do.
I don't really understand his concept, to be honest. It seems like it changes a lot.
That's true.
Yeah, so these people all have really long stories about surgery, but I will tell you another one of the answers starts with looking at the legendary Chuck Norris's advice.
nice.
And so we won't be reading that one.
Man, I do miss those Chuck Norris jokes that were huge in the early
Yeah.
days. You know, like Chuck Norris got hit in the head with an airplane and it didn't even hurt him. It actually felt good to him.
Yeah, it still holds up now. I'm laughing right
still
now.
funny.
This website's like trapped in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chuck Norris,
Chuck,
does Chuck Norris get afraid? No, he gets more Chuck Norris. There were a lot of them like that where the
Yeah.
punchline is you just say his name again.
I like ones that are, Chuck Norris fucked a lion and made it come.
That's really all you need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
A lot
it
of people
kinda-
could fuck a lion, but how many could really make it come?
That's
Nobody can often imitate a cat's sexual organs in the way that Chuck Norris can, where his penis shoots barbs, trapping the lion the way that they like. I don't really get how it works. Don't quote me on lion stuff.
All right.
And don't ever quote me on lion stuff. Yeah, so I guess
got a
no,
quarter
a
if you
surgeon
want.
has never given up. They've just died sometimes, I guess. You have a Quora?
Yeah, I found this one today.
I think we should both just do Quoras
Okay.
all the time, every week.
Yeah, why not? Cora's taking a very long one. Okay, here it is. Do you sleep with your bedroom door opened or closed? Why?
Oh, I closed it out of habit.
Yeah. You close your door, Dan?
closed for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. I tend to close my door because of my cat.
Well, I would leave the door open because of the cat, but I I don't know.
Okay.
Do you lock it? Or
He's
you,
a bad
I don't have
guy.
a lock on my bedroom door, but I do close
Yeah.
it.
Jeremy promised me he would not lock his bedroom door. That's one of the rules. When you're in my house, do not lock that door.
Yeah, well, I'm scared of some Phil Margera stuff happening to me in my sleep, so I do be locking the door sometimes.
You
Well,
have a
then you'll-
mischievous son who's going to come like pull on your balls or whatever.
I hope I never have a son. He's gonna
He's gonna do that.
he's gonna do that.
He's gonna do that. Don't do it, but he
mean,
will. He can't help himself.
I'm gonna show him Viva La Bam as soon as he's conscious.
You're gonna play it while he's sleeping, like
Yeah.
the Baby Geniuses tapes. He's just taking a nap to the fireworks going off in Phil's room.
Some baby CKY in his life. But
My first date with my wife was when we were in high school. We sneaked into Jackass 3D with no glasses and just
my
watched it blurry the whole time.
That sucks.
Yeah, it was
though.
really dumb when we got in. We're like, oh, we can't see this. It's kind of a visual
You
medium.
have to sneak into any other movie, actually.
We
for
were,
that
we
to
were
work
under
out.
17.
That's really hard.
did you
Yeah.
you could cross your eyes maybe? And that
Yeah,
way? I don't know.
That's the ideal way to watch Jackass too, is
Yeah.
with your eyes crossed for like an hour and a half.
And then a donkey kicks you to uncross them.
Yeah.
I'm realizing that maybe this setup I had growing up was not a usual thing, which is that my door did have a lock, but my family would just tell me you're not allowed to lock it. It's a breach of our contract to use the lock.
I didn't have a lock.
In case
as a
I gotta
kid.
fucking bust in here and
Sure.
give you what for. For leaving the hose on outside or something.
Is that a big problem in your family?
Yeah, I would always leave the hose on. I thought it was funny. I liked watching the water bill go up.
Fair enough.
Yeah. All right, so what'd you find?
Okay, this is Bob Duke.
Fake name.
The Babadook.
My answer: I live alone and am a retired police officer. I keep my bedroom door closed and locked with
Like
an additional
1/3
bar.
of the website, for whatever reason, is retired police officers.
With an additional bar across the inside so it can't be kicked in. I've gotten threatening mail at my P.O. box. Nobody knows my actual address other than friends, and I had a bullet shot through the back window of one of my cars. It's for security. What is this man afraid
That is
of?
not. What did you do? That so many people are trying to kill you.
I mean, he's an ex-cop. I think there's probably a lot of people who's got his
This
number.
is his bedroom door and his unlisted address.
I don't know. I like that it's not even like his. What does he do on his real door, his front door?
What if you have to like shit in the middle of the night or something? To undo the bar every time. In all honesty, he probably has a bathroom in.
Yeah, you
connected
gotta.
to the room,
You have
and
to.
So
You have
you would
to.
have to in that kind of serious security situation. This podcast is educational as well.
I mean, we have to assume that this cop has murdered people in the line of duty
Sure.
and is probably also
He had
haunted
to.
by ghosts of.
I was about to say, is this the first cop question we've answered that does not pertain to ghosts? Because there's all been cops on here being like, yeah, ghosts are real and I can't arrest them.
My big problem with ghosts is that I cannot put them in prison.
They continue to mock the law from beyond the grave.
Yeah, I don't know.
Doesn't
man.
matter how many bars I put on my bathroom door. They keep getting in and plugging up the place.
Yeah, so this guy's got a lot of enemies.
Yeah, that's too bad about him. I'm probably just gonna keep not doing that though. I'm probably just gonna do standard.
Yeah, if someone wants to break into my room
That's
and
kinda
kill
how I
me,
feel.
I feel like if they could figure out a way to do that without me waking up in the middle of the night and kill me in my sleep, then
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
they
Yeah, it's the
earned
best way to die, ideally.
it in your sleep.
Yeah, although I think the thing is people say that, but dying in your sleep is different than being taken out by an assassin while sleeping, because you
Fair
still have
enough.
that moment of waking up with like a katana through your chest where you go, oh, and I bet that part sucks. Because that you were asleep for that. It's the
Sure,
biggest
yeah,
surprise
yeah.
you'll ever get in your life.
You might think it's a dream, though. I would think it's a dream.
For like
I
the
think.
2 seconds you're alive with a katana through your chest, Jeremy.
Yeah. I'd be like, this is a crazy dream.
Yeah, you're having a dream, and all of a sudden, like one of those little alien thing
Chest
busts out.
bursters.
Yeah, chest burster, and then you think, oh God, that actually kind of feels so real. It feels so real, and then
it is.
Then it's
then
real.
it is.
And then it is. I think if I did have to choose how I would die, I'd like to be awake for it. That way,
Yeah.
if I need
Yeah, out of the sleep or awake, I guess. I'd like to be awake, and I'd like to look them in the eye as they do it.
You're assuming-
my enemies.
So you do want to get killed is your way to die.
I every night will be installing a bar across my bedroom door from all the people trying to kill me, which I want, but I don't want now.
Fair enough. I
I don't think I could be more clear about the situation.
How would you go if you could choose how to die?
Probably chop my fucking head off.
to chop your own head off.
Yeah, somebody's gonna chop my head off, like my maybe second in command of my dojo.
Sure, yeah.
As some kind of act. I'm thinking of Yukio Mishimaing it in some way.
Right,
And then
right.
our society will have to respect it. It won't just be like a meme for a half hour. They'll be like, Alex really had something to say.
Yeah.
And that's why he stabbed himself with a sword and then another guy cut his head off.
Right.
Yeah.
I think I'd want to be dropped into a volcano.
That sounds bad.
Yeah?
That
I think that'd
sounds
be good.
bad to me.
Really? I think that would be better than having my head chopped off.
I think it's like, in terms of how nerves work, like the ouchiest way you could go.
Really? Dropped
Although
into
you
a
probably
volcano.
pass out as you get too close. Pass
Maybe-
off sounds like a way a British person says it.
Maybe I'm going head first then.
Oh yeah, I mean if you're head first, and it's still really ouchy for a second there though. It's real. Although you know the thing is when they try to chop your head off, they usually don't get it on the first one. It usually takes a few chipper choppers.
This kind of reminds me of an IRL Quora that was
Okay.
asked of me.
When I was 16, a guy chopped my head off, and they asked how bad it hurt.
No, but I worked at a hotel for a number of years, and there was a maintenance guy who spoke very little English. Like our conversations were usually just small talk, like, "Hey, how's it
What's
going?
up?
You working the early shift? Yeah." And then one day, after 4 years, he just comes up to me and he goes, "So Dan, would you rather be eaten alive by a tiger or beheaded by ISIS?" Damn, dude, you've been saving that one up for a while.
I would be beheaded.
Yeah?
I like how he said, he had clearly only ever read ISIS in print on like
Yeah.
the cover of the New York Post or whatever.
Dan, I have found Quora, and I would like to have a discussion with you now. No, and I'm always fucking on about this, and stop me if I have talked about this on the podcast before, but and this may be different for lions and tigers, but lions, when they eat you, they rip your whole ass out first while you're alive. So it is
Really?
one of the worst ways to die out of all of them.
They go ass first?
Yeah, they want you to live the longest, so they just go right for where all the meat is, and they rip out all your intestines and your ass meat. And you're not dead at all because there's no reason you'd be dead from that. And it takes a while, and they're really just having fun with it, and they're bigger than you, and they're big bad cats.
All right, well, then I guess I'm going with ISIS.
The obvious answer is decapitated by ISIS.
Guess I got to go with ISIS.
Man, I'm glad they're not around anymore, though, because that was one of
Lions?
my fears. Yeah, lions. I'm glad we're in the great extinction. I say that every day.
That'd be a great like sci-fi channel movie is Lions versus ISIS.
Yeah. Sharknado style movie.
History Channel
A lot
presents.
of sequel opportunities.
Sure, yeah. Or you could do it History Channel where it's like a detailed analysis.
Yeah, like Deadliest Warrior.
Yeah.
Deadliest
Lions
ISIS.
versus ISIS. The lion's claws can scratch an ISIS member's face.
With the force of over 100 small cats.
But all it takes is a push of one button to bring down the pride.
So they know this young man is loaded up with a suicide vest. I don't actually know if ISIS did that much. They were more taking towns and making browns. Brown was heroin.
Oh, all right. Well,
That's what they would say when they did it.
good for them.
Let's find another Quora.
I have one that's, I think, just a funny question. It's not really
Okay.
a long one or anything. I just like the way that the like vernacular of Quora is very strange.
The poetry of Quora.
We kind of like the language of it, you know?
Yeah.
And I just like this question. It was, who was Paul McCartney's first girlfriend? Did she know that he was a member of the famous band called the Beatles?
Oh no, I hope she knew, because it's a big part of his life. The Beatles started when they were like 13 years old. They loved
Yeah.
to go out on the jolly old train and start slamming their friggin' banjo-aroonies.
The answer says she knew he was in a band called They Beatles. Yes, and it does say They Beatles.
They them Beatles.
But as for knowing how big the band would become, no, she didn't have a reliable way to see into the future.
Oh my god.
Question asked and answered.
I bet she's kicking herself now. I could have been the Beatles' girlfriend.
Yeah,
Come
truly.
on. I could have been friends with Yoko Ono, who everyone liked.
That was her big thing, yeah. She wanted to be friends with. It was really just a stepping stone for her to get to Yoko.
There should be like divorce payments, but for rock stars' girlfriends, where if you're a rock star's girlfriend, you still get a settlement when they break up with you. You know what I mean? That's only fair because like you should still be like you should have a reward for being part of the story of the Beatles.
Right, yeah. And they probably wrote a few songs about you.
I was gonna say if they write a song about you, you got to get some sort of check for that.
Yeah.
This next one's called Toothy Pamela. I was wondering where the Beatles diss tracks came from, and that's kind of a lot of them were girlfriend based at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, they wrote about what they knew.
Yeah.
I read an article once
Women
about,
who lie.
I read an article about once, I said that insanely, about Delilah from Hey There, Delilah.
The chorus kicking
Yeah, I know, for real. And it was like, she was like, yeah, I didn't really know the guy. I met him once. Now there's a song about me, and I hear it all the time. It was really weird, and I feel like she should get a lot of money.
Yeah.
Really. That that pisses me the fuck off. I'm sorry.
This is my big political issue.
Yeah. 2022, the main thing that I'm thinking about when I walk into that voting booth is who's gonna punish the plain white peas for what they did.
Who's gonna get Delilah her cash?
Yeah.
Reparations for girlfriends of musicians.
I think there was even like a pilot based on the song.
Was
that
there
got
really?
picked up at one
This
point?
sounds familiar to me. I don't know why. Is this like the talk of the town at some point?
Hey There, Delilah.
The Hey There, Delilah live sitcom on CBS? With Zoe Deschanel as Delilah?
All right, that sounded pretty good.
Yeah, starring she. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm going to leave you back in Idaho. You're a little weird. Oh, wait. So did the guy move to New York City in the song, or did the girl move to
The
New
girl.
York City? Because how's
Yeah.
it going in New York
She's
City?
1,000 miles away.
I'm going to admit I don't know the song as well as I could. And I would
She's
like to
a-
do better at that, and I'm really sorry.
She was a professional runner. That's what I remember.
That
Very
was part of
interesting.
it?
Yeah. That was a
So
big
she moved to New York City for a running job?
and then,
To run around
Yeah.
town?
Yeah. That's a big job in New York. Is you can be a
Yeah,
professional
you gotta.
runner.
You
New
can go
York's-
up and down all the blocks.
Once you like graduate college, if you don't get into the Olympics, you just become like a running delivery person.
Yeah.
we got the best pizza, the best bagels, and the best running. in the world.
The fastest girlfriends you've ever seen. They moved a long way to do this.
Yeah. All our women are from songs.
Good Lord, they can hold a pie. And by that I mean pizza pie.
Yeah,
Just to
I
be
know.
clear, and that, I don't know what other way you would take that, but that wasn't it. So this is under jokes, humor, and funny stories. I don't know
Okay.
why.
Okay.
This is as a doctor. Again.
Honey.
Medical Quora segment. What is the best lie a patient has ever told you?
This is a joke.
So I guess the best lie so far on the podcast would be, no, I did not feed my 5-year-old daughter before giving her anesthesia.
Fair enough. And the shame I feel for asking this question runs deep. As I was like, get a load of this.
Dead
And then you guys
girl
were
alert.
like, no, that happens very often. And I was like, oh, never mind.
Yeah, slam the killing spree button. Okay. So if they're trying to be funny on this, then that is not what we are here for. But the answer in this one is, I was sitting in the room when my ex-husband tried lying to our doctor about not eating soda and junk food. She pointed at her screen with his medical record and replied, "That's not what your blood tests say."
Got him.
Got his ass. Oh my God. I wonder if you'll ever see this.
I like how she said eating soda.
You should see the way he does it.
Like a dog. Just from a bowl.
He's gulping it down.
Lapping it up.
It gets better. She told him he needs to eat fruits and vegetables every day, and he says he does. I laugh. No, you don't. I have been keeping my soda stash in the produce drawer since we moved in 4 years ago, and you have yet to find it. She tells him, I know you're not eating fruits and vegetables. I was snickering until she turned to me. And on your next appointment, we are going to talk about the soda stash.
Uh-oh.
And then the last line of the post, oh crap, I was busted. That's how you pray your doctor visit doesn't end with you being busted, folks.
No.
You pray. You're not supposed to lie, by the
No,
way.
you can't do
They're
that.
not like supposed to be there to judge you. They're just like, oh, don't do that.
Yeah.
They have no power over what you do or whatever. They're not going to lock. Although I guess if you're insane, they could lock you away.
Right. If they think you're a danger to
They
someone.
could take your kids away if you're eating too much soda.
I just want my doctor to think I'm cool.
Apparently, I don't think he does it anymore. I feel like it's free to talk about. But one of my friends who's a comedian is a very heavy set man, and he had a joke about lying about his weight on a small aircraft to get on it, where he was like 400 pounds, and he was like, I'm like 200 pounds, and then the plane kept like doing things it wasn't supposed to do, and it's like,
no.
this is the best story I've ever heard. Not sure if it's like the joke you're looking for, but it is a really funny way to die if that happens. You know, the pilot's looking at you just like, you piece of
You
shit.
just
What is
hear
it?
Like over the edge, it's like, all right, who lied? Who lied about their weight?
I
not
thought
give them
we
any
were
snacks.
friends. You know what? No one's going to the island anymore. We're turning around. Going back to Long Island.
No, and these days you can't even say anything because then you'll be accused of being fat phobic.
Yep. Yeah.
You say, "Hey, buddy, I don't think you're being truthful with us."
Nobody talks about how hard cancel culture is on pilots.
Pilots
Makes
are
their
getting
job
canceled left and right.
impossible.
Yeah, most
they
people-
can't do it.
They don't want to fly anymore.
They don't even want to fly. They want to stay on the ground. A lot of them are getting their submarines licensed just because weight's not a problem down there. It's one of the safest ways to
Yeah,
do
you
it.
could. That is the thing about submarines. You could put as much weight in as you want, in there, and it doesn't affect how they
They tell you that. They give you the submarine, they say, do whatever you want.
Go to town.
do your best.
This baby sinks.
Not to poke holes in the logic of this chorus story.
Submarine response. Poke
But
holes.
Is
right?
it anyone's produce?
That was
produce
funny.
section?
Okay,
Wait,
yep.
what? I missed
Because
it.
it's poke holes, and you can't do that in a submarine.
Oh,
Okay,
true.
sorry.
Yeah.
And so I thought you were really doing like a Shakespearean retort
Yeah.
in that way.
Everything I've been saying rhymes, but like every other sentence.
This is like one of those smart Alan Parsons British shows, I
Yeah,
think, in a lot of
yeah,
ways,
yeah.
where you're laughing hours later as you reconsider the poke holes response. Ha ha ha. What were you saying?
I was saying refrigerators. Don't the produce sections, aren't they just like clear usually?
Yeah, they often are clear, but the soda drawer is black as night.
Fair enough.
It's opaque as night. Is that an expression?
Um,
Should we look at my fridge? Should we see what the drawers be looking like?
Let's see
sure.
what's
Yeah.
in
Open
here.
it up. This
All
is
right,
a
we're here
video
live at
podcast.
Alex's fridge.
Go ahead
what
to
do we got
YouTube.
here? Oh, I found those cranberry
Oh, there's
sodas on the street
Mostly
yesterday.
empty hot sauce containers.
There's a
They're not
human head
empty.
in here. Jesus Christ.
There's not, folks. There is not a human head in there, and the hot sauce has some hot sauce in all those great bottles.
It's funny to imagine opening this up and there's a bunch of soda in the bottom, being like, "Where's my damn soda?"
Okay, Jeremy has a point though because
Thank
all of the
you.
drawers are see through.
You do have a vegetable drawer full of soda. I'm looking at a drawer labeled vegetables, and all I'm seeing are Coca-Cola and cherry Coca-Cola and Diet Cokes.
I'm not on trial here.
Oh, we're
My
gonna
health
talk
is
about that
second
next
to
time.
none. I'm the healthiest young man alive. How
That's
dare
not
you?
what your blood tests say.
Oh no.
Busted.
I hate teaching you so much about medical knowledge on our podcast that you're technically a doctor now. Oh no. Okay. We read the surgeon one. We read the as a doctor one. Oh, this is about if you're pregnant.
This one sounds grim, though.
Was this the one Tim didn't want to read? We had a few of these where we were like, Tim, what if you had to get an abortion? He was like, I'm not reading this.
That was fair.
and it was fair, and it was tough but fair. Okay. Let's do the new one. The new one we found on Twitter.
Oh, yeah. Go for it.
So this is a really good question.
Someone sent this to you.
Yeah. And so the question is very strong, and we can round table this maybe before we pull it up on
Okay.
the actual website. Do the Jews consider Larry David a hero like Napoleon in France? Now, at this table, if we were going to ask one person who the Jews
The
consider
Jew.
like Napoleon, it would have to be the guest. Dan, what do you think?
I'm gonna say yes.
That's a staggering yes from Dan.
I'm gonna say that it extends. I think just people who know of Larry David view him as a hero. I think
yeah.
it extends past.
But is it like
the confines of religious?
Is it like Napoleon in France though?
Oh,
Like
I
he
think-
conquered Egypt and stuff?
he conquered the hearts of.
He conquered the do's and don'ts of standing in line.
Yeah, he produced Seinfeld.
He did do
So
that.
I guess that's kind of like,
I feel like I wonder if it's the opposite. I wonder if the French see Napoleon as sort of their Larry David. where
that's
they're
a
like,
really good point.
This guy gets us.
Yeah.
He says what we're all thinking, but are afraid to say.
Which is that Russia is very cold.
What he did with his artillery line here was a lot like discovering a close talker in 1811 or whatever that was. That's really interesting. The start of the top response is, as always, there are many different opinions. The leftists tried to rewrite history and present him as a tyrant only. I have not heard that about Larry David. I've heard that about Jerry Seinfeld. I have not heard that about Larry David.
There should be a statue of Larry David in Williamsburg, if you ask
Yes,
me.
I agree with that.
Who's in charge of making statues? Who do we have
Eric
to...
Adams. Let's
He
petition
I mean,
him.
single-handedly, the city should be putting up Larry David statues, but I feel like, maybe just nobody in Williamsburg wants to put up a bust of Larry David. They're too good to have that around. But you walk into McCarran Park, you're wondering what the vibe is. Oh, giant bust of Larry David. How
Yeah.
nice does that sound?
Sometimes they just swap the heads out of statues, apparently, where they'll just be like, oh, this is a statue of someone who kind of is bad, so they just like change the head to someone else. So we could just change a head to Larry David.
That's not Christopher Columbus. That's Master Chief.
Master Chief Circle.
It's a great park to visit on Master Chief Day. Every
Well, you know,
September.
he finished the fight.
He did. He took it to the flood. I do not know anything else that has happened in Halo. It's come up every week for some reason.
Hit the button.
Killing spree.
Folks, we're
Man,
keeping it going.
Imagine if there was a Halo map modeled after present-day Williamsburg. Though.
I'd play it.
I'd play it.
Oh, yeah. I bet there's a lot of like conservative mods of Brooklyn in the Halo maps that you can play. That seems like a real thing that exists. I would encourage our listeners to look into it in their own free time.
Yeah, please do. Send it to me.
Oh, and by the way, we have an email now. You could send Quoras to quorators@gmail.com.
Whoa.
The hit
That's
show
huge.
Quorators is now on gmail.com.
Finally.
Send us a thing there. Don't fuck with our questions when we post trying to talk to real insane people. Okay. What time are we at right now?
57 minutes.
57. Let's do something unhinged and then do
Okay.
a question and leave.
I have a good unhinged one. I don't know if this will translate super well to podcast, but it is one that someone sent me as well. So
This is a
we're-
good start.
Yes. So this is, and maybe you should open it up so you guys could see it as
Okay.
well. But this one is it's under it's the last one under Quoker.
Under Quoker.
So this is how often. Thank you. This is how often do you arrange to meet friends? And this guy wrote like 3,000 words about his Excel document spreadsheet that he has.
Okay.
Where he talks about like how he catalogs seeing his friends and shit.
Let's pull this
And
up
I'm just kind
again
of blown
here.
away by it. Do you have it open?
Oh, I accidentally clicked if I randomly did a gang sign in the hood. That is not the question we're answering.
No, it's the one underneath that.
I don't know how you messed that one up, folks. Oh my god. Oh my god.
He's got like contact reminders, and he's got like when he last contacted them and how frequently he contacts them and how long it takes for them to respond.
He's probably really good at making friends. Like he has the data on friendship.
Like
in
he
a way
literally,
that I don't have.
He's got like this spreadsheet where it says like, oh, John's frequency per contact is 26.07148257. And it's like, that is an insane.
What does that mean?
It's his times per year of contacting.
That he's visited? Okay. Oh, it's per year, it says. Okay. Yeah, I would actually really like to have these figures, but I'm too lazy to go and whip up the sheet.
Well, you don't need to
Probably.
anymore. This guy's got it for you.
Can you download it? Is that at the end of it? It tells you the exact figures. Folks, if you're looking to whip up a friendship rankings chart, go to Quora. Go to Quora, type in how often do you arrange to meet friends. We have Zachary Brown here, who is a former warp drive specialist at the United Federation of Planets. That's a big get.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
probably the most intelligent person we've ever had on the show before. This is really good. Dan, do you think you could maybe you could use this to make some friends?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't even know how to use Excel as
Come
a
on.
program. I have no use for it. If we got a news alert right now that said Excel is forever not a thing anymore, my life
we're
would
gonna
not
get
be
that.
impacted 1%.
That's not true. Everyone's life would be impacted by that. This world is run on
How do you know how frequently your friends talk to you?
Google Sheets. Yeah. How do you know which friends are talking to you or not?
I just like talk to them, and then if I need to remember, I just use my memory.
How many people who were there with you on the day you shattered both legs jumping off of a balcony do you still talk to regularly?
It was a church, and it was Nick Saroff who was filming it, and he was the only person there. And I haven't talked to him in some time. I should reach out to Nick Saroff if you're listening. I hope you're good, dude. Sorry, sorry, I made you witness that.
I hope nothing happens to you like happened to me on that fateful day. Is that kind of like a Stephen King origin thing where like you probably stopped talking to each other because you were part
Sure.
of such a violent episode?
You're bound by it, though.
You know, things. Your life just takes you in different directions. You know, if he had decided he wanted to pursue comedy and move to New York, you know, I would still be hanging with him.
Sure.
But you know,
You'd have filmed him jumping off a building.
exactly. I would return the favor in a heartbeat. But
Hey, Nick, instead of watching me hurt myself, why don't you film this hilarious skit I came up with?
yeah, he did a good job holding the camera. So
Sure,
you know, yeah.
Do you still have the video?
So here's the interesting thing.
Okay, all right.
The police confiscated it because
Wow.
it was
What?
as I was trespassing
What?
on church property. So they took the video.
Bunch of
I never
horseshit.
got it back.
Wow. They're watching it on repeat.
Well, a year and a half, maybe 2 years later, I was at a free concert downtown, and then this girl came up to me, and she was like, "Wait, you're that kid that jumped off Christ the King Church, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "This is nuts. My brother was in a Scared Straight type program, and they made all the kids watch it." So I was like, they clearly still have it, or I mean, this would have been
Because
like
again, they
15
just assume you're on drugs,
I don't know. Yeah,
even though
I
you
think so.
were not, and they were like, still think smoking weed is cool. Look at Dan jump off a church.
Yeah,
He defied God just like you're doing.
Yeah, I don't know what the lesson they were supposed to take from that was, but
Doesn't that look like
don't
it
do that.
hurts?
Don't do that. That's what it feels like when you smoke crack. I don't know.
And he
what?
said it was an 8.
When you do drugs, you're breaking the law. Oh, well, how does the law affect my personal safety, you're wondering? Well, we have a law against trespassing. Cue the tape.
Roll the film.
What you can't see is the church pushing him off that building.
We didn't get good Foley of Dan's legs shattering, but trust me, they did.
Yeah, we need to put a tree through a wood chipper to that is what it sounded like, a tree going through a wood chipper.
That's really loud.
Yeah.
That's a crazy sound. I'm also realizing how crazy it is that she recognized you from her brother seeing a video at
Well, I
Scared
was not to toot my own horn. I was somewhat of a local celebrity.
I believe it. You're a celebrity to me, my friend. Okay. Well, that covers this
Yeah, let's ask
episode
a
of
question.
Quorators. Let's leave our mark on Quora society now by asking one of our famous Quoras.
Do we have any questions? What's our big question? Do we have anything from this episode?
Oh, we said something earlier that was
Fat
really
bastard.
Good. Oh, something
Yeah.
about Fat Bastard.
What if you had to share a hospital room with Fat
do it.
Bastard?
If you had to share a hospital room with Fat Bastard,
not just what if.
Okay, what if Fat Bastard was your doctor?
Okay, yeah, that's it. I'm gonna say from Austin Powers.
From Austin Powers, in parentheses.
Yeah.
Fat Bastard from Austin Powers.
Should I even-
What if he was your doctor? And I don't know what the question is, but
That's it. Yeah.
imagine that.
What
What if Fat Bastard? We're not going to get any answers on this one either.
Austin
Would you
Powers-
call him Would you call him Dr. Bastard? I guess?
Okay, what if you have a doctor you do not respect, like Fat Bastard from Austin Powers? Well, do you still have to use the title doctor?
All right, hold on. Let me delete.
That's like I feel like maybe that, and then we can fuck that up English wise a little bit so that it sounds like a Quora.
So what is it? What is if you have a doctor?
If
don't
you
respect?
have a doctor you do not respect, parentheses, like Fat Bastard from Austin Powers,
who is not a doctor,
but he's somebody you don't respect, do you still have to call them doctor?
okay, like hold on, Fat Bastard from Austin Powers.
Yeah, make sure you get the Fat Bastard in there.
honey.
Do you have to still call them doctor? Yeah.
Yeah.
If you have a doctor you do not respect, like Fat Bastard from Austin Powers, you have to still call them doctor.
And they're gonna try to get you to change that entire question. Go ahead and hit ignore.
No, it didn't. It has no suggestions.
This is the perfect question, says Quora.
And
Put this on our website.
the suggested topics are respect, medical doctors, and medicine and healthcare. But I can also add some others like Austin Powers.
Should we tag some people?
Yeah. Who do you want to tag?
So the way Quora works is they want you to really get like individuals involved. So if there's like Dr. Oz or like a famous doctor, on
sure.
there,
Yeah. Let's see.
who is running for office. So if we could get
Dr.
him,
Oz.
that's actually like really good for the show. If we get Dr. Oz right now, if we get
Dr.
Dr. Oz on the show,
Dr. Drew would pick up the call, I feel like,
Yeah.
and
Dr.
answer that.
Drew, Dr. Phil. I've heard Dr. Phil isn't a real doctor, but I don't know that for sure, and I'm not sure I can say that in a public forum.
To be clear, there's a lot of people named Dr. Phil. I'm going to pick the one who has Patrick from SpongeBob as his photo. I think.
Yeah, that's the
probably-
one we want to ask, probably, ideally.
Do you know Dr. Phil's last name?
No.
Lombardo.
What is it? I
Oh,
thought-
it's Lombardo?
Oh,
That
no,
was a
I was
guess.
just guessing.
for some reason, I thought you were going to be like, it's something really funny, and not you just actually asking me.
Oh,
Yeah, the
so I
way you
was-
said it was like, and I know, and you're about to find out.
I have a great story for you guys. You know what Dr. Phil's last name is? It's like Optimus Prime.
It's Fat Bastard. Dr. Phil.
Dr. Phil, Fat Bastard.
I'm going to also try to see if I can ask Austin Powers.
Yeah, see if he'll answer on his Quora.
All right, I've done it. It's been-
All right, that's another perfect episode of Quorators. Here we are at the end of all things.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
Dan, we want to thank you for coming on the show again today.
Thank you for having me.
We've had a lot of fun here on Quorators. There's the robot. We don't usually play it at the end, but I wanted to. Where can our listeners find you, at home or abroad?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Dan Licata Sucks. The only other Dan Licata on Twitter hasn't logged in for 12 years, and I can't get that handle. So that's why I have that.
Okay, yeah, so find Dan. He does not suck. He's really cool, but the other one is taken. So go check that out. Run, do not walk to Dan Licata's Twitter at Dan Licata Sucks. And go see, aren't you going on tour like right now?
Yeah, we're gonna be in Nashville. We're gonna be in the South. Everywhere down there that's big. So if you live in the Southeast, come see me and Adult Swim's own favorite son, Joe Pera.
Family Guy presents Joe Pera and Dan Licata live in the South. And that's happening soon near you. All right, that's going to do it for Quorators here today. And as we always say at the end of Quorators, fucking quar with it.
I'm pressing end.